My wrecked mind isn't set to die yet. My only disease is to have you pleased. I never gone away. I would die before I lifted up my voice in some old craven cavern's choice to echo my blood into this old crud of a lyrical splayed out shoulder hole around my neck. And if I pretend I am faceless, will I be left? Will I try to make it through to you? You know I never got much out of the moon, but it shines bright tonight. And if this stolen hand reaches out and touches the moth over there, I'll just stare like a puppet controlled by these fucking shits. People know me as somewhat of an ass, and they grow weary of my presence. And I know if it's gotta slow down, might as well stop. If it's gotta slow down, slow down, slow down. So here's what I think. These walls, what do they enclose? Is the planet a thing that doesn't need revealing? Are we provided with evidence at every turn? Do we have a chance? Maybe once a week, for some once a month or a year or more? Do we have a chance to see reality as something not only ontically there, but verbally defined with accuracy? And I don't mean defining reality. What I mean is putting your tarp, putting your canvas anywhere. Artfulness is the closest thing we can get to an immediacy of meaning. Meaning before it has the chance to formulate itself. That's what I see in art. Something that has somewhat of an improvised flavor, especially now. these days. Because when it doesn't, well, all that ham-fisted meaning can seem hopelessly thrown together. But then maybe I'm the ham-fisted one. Maybe I don't proceed with anything but a plan. Maybe it's an unconscious set or pattern. But then that's more a psychology, isn't it? Making sense of the world however I can. That's probably why I don't have a lot of friends. Because, if your psychology is fucked, well, what kind of pattern are you making? What are you painting on that canvas? And where are you choosing to paint it? If I had one moment a day where I saw reality as it was, or is, reality as it is, you know, now that I think about it, is, was, these constraints of time. Well, to say what reality is means that it is always something. To say what reality was means that reality has no is. That it's never one thing for very long, which I suppose is true. But it's still bound up in time. When we perceive these small little miracles, we see them. We see them manifest in our minds like something delicate and maybe somewhat perturbed, like hearing footfalls, like it's so fragile because it's so special that you almost crunch it to ruins in your fist. But who knows? Have I really forgotten what I'm saying? What is my pattern of thought? Reason. If there is an ultimate reason, then it should apply universally. But I think there are many different ways many things can apply universally, including artfulness. It has that intentionality to it, wanting to beautify the sense of aesthetic. Such things, pretty things, are not, are not but only made in the moment. They never change once they are. So maybe reality is like a poem. Maybe it's like a poem that you stopped writing. And maybe an incomplete. Maybe put away and never returned to again. Or maybe you finished it, I don't know. But that makes sense to me. It makes sense to me because it involves the is and was. It involves a reality that was made in the moment, that has that sense of immediacy, that thwarts a conscious design, a conscious pattern, psychology, which anyway would be very ham-fisted. Psychology usually is. I mean, the mind isn't. There are some branches of psych that are very interesting and complex, but if I could, I'd say reality involves time in the same way that it takes time to write a poem. And that it sticks that way. Reality is that way. While you're writing it for you. And it might stir up in another's mind a completely different sense of things, which adds a whole new layer. But the reality that is something that was never. It is a new moment. It's might have the old feel of something done before, especially in art. A lot of pastiche. That's how you become a good artist, in my opinion. But anyway. Yeah, I mean, like, imitating those you revere. Imitation is the sincerest word of flattery, sincerest, etc. But let me just conclude and tell you that reality is something that has no bounds and is stuffed in bounds, leaking out everywhere. It's everything stuffed into time. Time to divide it, time to organize it, time to set about on all the little psychologies and patterns that you wish. And if everything was static, then maybe everything would be infinite. Maybe reality would just be an infinite poem. A moment. Something almost barely there. Hallucinated. Silent. Well, fuck, I mean.